Warning, this is all financial advice. You can invest in any way that will make you feel comfortable. This is just a full breakdown of the stock to help you invest into a company that will help you grow your portfolio for the long term. Thank you.
It's time to hone your skills. You'll certainly need it.
Hello guys, my name is Kool-Aid-Man100X. Welcome to Black Money. How you guys doing? Black people, listen, we're going to be jumping into Ford Motor Company. I'm going to be breaking down the analysis and see how everything functions behind the hood of Ford Motor Company. Ford Motor Company is going to be good to break down. So y'all already know the first thing that we do when we break down a company, very simple and easy. We like to see, do this, company pay dividends. So let's check and see. So Ford Motor Company pays dividends. It pays a quarterly payout of 15 per share. Oh man, it's going to be good. Decent, but not good. But let's go back. Y'all know me. I like to do my charts, so I like to go within the 6 months, year, 5, and max. So I'm going to be breaking down the company. So we already know you can put into this company and put out as far as dividends. They do pay dividends, but quarterly, but not good. So we're going to start off with the 6 months of Ford Motor Company. We can see here for the peak of 14,020, which is 14.11% of volume of 74 million, dropped down to negative 3.67%, which is 71 million in the volume, dropped down the same, a little bit lower, which would be plus 0.73% volume of 58,000. They took a dip in volume. Went back up, which would be 4.11%, which is 52 million. Now they got a higher volume of 9.22% of a 110 million volume. So let's jump into the year. What do they got for us for the year? So they got a couple of key points here. The first one here, which would be negative 6.14%, which is 154 million volume, jumped up to 12.16%, which is 2.98 million, which we get a nice decent of 411.74 million. Drop back down here to the 5.73, 58 million volume, which would give us the 9.22% of 110 million. Let's jump into the 5-year mark. Oh boy. So we're seeing a balance, but we're seeing it go lower, take some real big hit dips as we see here. So let's jump into it. We get 18.2% volume of 562 million volume, negative 16.37, 525% volume, and 19.96%, 58.6. That's pretty deep. And we took a very big hit here. Not a big hit, but they had a high volume of 16.11%, which is 1.3 billion. Now, this is interesting. I would say Ford is pretty much turning out to be a hell of a company now. Surprising. Very surprising. They do pay dividends. The high open 16-17%. They actually might hit this a little higher. Yeah, overall, they not bad at all. They do pay the dividends here. As you see in the Ford here, we got 15%, pretty much the same, but they actually had an uptick of 33. They didn't drop back down to a standard 15%. So really no growth. So they took a negative 20% in growth, as you can see here. So we already seeing that's not being pretty good at all to have for, but they've been stagnant on their capital gains. So their capital gains went up 20%, which is decent within the 5 years. But, within that 6 months is pretty impressive. It went up at 32%. So not bad at all. But y'all know me. We like to get into the financials and see how Ford is actually running and see what they actually did in the company in general. So we're going to jump into the finance. Y'all want to follow along and jump into the finance. And we like to jump in first into the category of cash flow. Like to see what you make, what you don't make, what you lost, what you did lose, all that stuff. So we're going to be in the net income, which is negative 0.36 mil, which jumped it to 2.5 billion, which puts you back down, and 11.6 mil, which puts you back. Okay. Now for y'all, negative is ridiculous. How y'all jumped in 32 mil in the negative, 2.45 in a billion, dropped back down, negative 11.6 bill, jumped back up to 2.55 bill of this year. So within a year, you have money, you lose money. You have money, you lose money. I'm not understanding that. Okay, let's see why you're losing money. Let's jump into the second thing here, which I always have a little guide that I go by here, which would be the kind, and we go into the net income cash from operations. Cash from operations is 6.32 bill, 7.40, 3.38 bill, and 1.32 bill. Y'all spend a lot of money, and y'all actually got it down, but y'all spending a lot of money for cash for operations. So I guess y'all got that down pretty decent, I guess. But change in inventories, 1.2. Wow, y'all took a big change in inventories. Went down to 71, 1.2 bill. Then y'all in the negative for inventories for y'all. What y'all doing with the cars? What's going on? Why on the negative? You need that to make money. I see why this is affecting this. Y'all don't have enough people making cars or selling them, because I see why this is affecting this, your net income. You're not making enough to create the inventory. So yeah, that's crazy. How are y'all functioning? So we're going to look at the cash from investing. Oh my God, negative 0.32 bill, 7.38 bill, 7.66 bill, and negative 71 million. Y'all have no investments. Literally none. Y'all don't have anything. I know why this is happening, because we're about to answer the second question for the thing, which is cash from financing. Oh my God. Let's just highlight all this. Really, let's just highlight all this here. How are y'all still open? How is this possible? Negative 0.229 bill. You got a positive. This is financing. 3.85 bill, 353 mil, and y'all on a negative of 6.17 billion. What are y'all financing? What? I'm so curious. What are y'all financing? Who? I don't understand. Got to be them car lots or something. I don't know, because God, that's a lot to finance for what? This is where the bulk of your net income is going, and to finance, and that doesn't make any sense. Free cash flow. Okay, 4.17, 1.8. Y'all, oh my God. We don't even have to read the unlevered cat. This is this. Y'all have no cash flow. Oh my God. How are y'all still open? I'm wondering that. Y'all have no cash flow, no unlevered cash. You can't even afford the operations to make and y'all up in the market. Some is being volatile. And I'm thinking this is like, y'all are getting people to invest to save the company. That is literally the only thing I can. Yo, what's up, guys? This your boy Kool-Aid Man 100X. I want you to hit the link in the description below for my zero investment books. We have a quick sale going on for $7. Link will be in the description below or in the comments below as well, so you can get a chance to get the $7 deal and other things that you want to learn how to invest and take your investing to the next level. So I hope y'all enjoy. I'm gonna catch you guys there. Can actually think of. I'm not seeing any other thing to think of how this company is actually staying alive. I don't understand. But yeah, the free cash flow is a negative 0.93, and you've been in a negative within the last year and got worse. Then don't have no cash to come out to negative. So how are y'all even functioning as a company? But we're about to see now. So let's jump into, y'all know my favorite thing is the balance sheet. Balance sheet pretty much tell you how your company is actually ran. So the graph seems tight. The first thing we look at is your total current. First we look at your inventory. Okay, y'all have decent inventory. 17, 16, took a bit of a hit here. this year at the December 2025, but y'all have inventory. So I'm thinking it's a buy matter problem. Nobody buying enough cars, or y'all can't afford to make enough cars. Y'all have the inventory, so why y'all net income is so low? It's not making any sense. So much wrong with this now. I'm starting to get it. Y'all have the inventory, but not enough to make the inventory, but not enough to sell the inventory. Interesting, but I guess in a way it makes sense to them, but I don't get that. Total current assets, 3 point. So y'all have good assets. I would say a balance of 5-point bill is different. We're talking about billion, so this is decent. Y'all have good assets. I'm thinking because y'all have Ford. Ford is the asset, so that's probably why it's balancing out on the balance sheets a little bit good. Your total current assets, decent, very good, I have to say. Surprising, but very good. Don't really see that in these type of situations as far as companies is being ran like this. But interesting, no prepaid expenses. Why is that? But prepaid expenses is pretty much the same as incurring expenses. Y'all have none of that. I wonder why they didn't want to tell us this. I wonder why. I wonder why this is blank. I wonder why. Are y'all spending more in expenses and incurring expenses just to keep the company running? Wonder why that's hid. Right. This is interesting, right? The total long-term assets and the total assets, decent. Now, I don't understand this though. Y'all have no expenses. How is this possible? How are y'all investing with no expenses? No total expenses. Y'all total assets is 293, which is decent. 280, which is decent. This is y'all total assets, which is Ford trucks. You know what I'm saying? So your trucks is selling, but nothing else is selling under Ford. So y'all have the inventory, y'all have the total assets, but after that, what is your long term, which is decent, is Ford. So Ford is the only thing you can actually agree upon that makes it work. I believe that's why within these 5 years, y'all took a big jump into the stock market, because y'all assets is what's selling. So in other words, you're selling shares, I would say. That's the only thing I can think of, really. So when we look into the earnings call, I would say 3 bad hits. Ugh. But as far as the revenue, perfect. I don't know how, because I think a lot of men buying trucks. So y'all trucks are very phenomenal as far as off-road and durability. Yeah, the trucks will sell. So your EPS, you might take a hit 32.30, but revenue still makes up for what you lost. So I'll have no problems in your revenue department. So y'all are doing pretty good. Let's look at the key issues here. All right, Ford Motor Company revenue potential and execution risk. So we're gonna be looking at the bullish view and the bearish. The Ford Energy represents a compelling new growth avenue. Interesting, with the EDF battery. Now, I believe this is coming from Tesla. Now they're trying to compete with Tesla with their electric cars. Now I have to agree. I've came across commercials with Ford making electric cars, so they're actually building a battery to store the adjustments of selling Ford store suppliers. So the Bank of America resumed coverage with a buy rating of 17%, target high range of the Ford Energy potential to generate over 3. Yeah, that now I believe that's what they're getting ready for, as far as them transitioning to electric trucks. So their electric truck is kind of fire. I'm not really talking down on their creativity with that. That can be a game changer, because think about it. That actually, you don't have to go out fuel or whatever, and it still has the same durability, the same capacity to move things to as well. So to truckers, this is a big thing. I will see Ford blowing up very quickly. If you got any stock in Ford, I can see it doing some big things later on down the line. Now we're looking at the bullish. The bullish here, significant execution, scaling the challenges, cloud for energy, near terms outlook. Barkley warns, the Tesla remains the dominant. You see what I'm saying? They're trying to compete with Tesla. So this makes sense. Tesla remains the dominant competitor in energy stores and additional. But I don't believe that's true. We're going to come in the future with that. So be ready for that review. Because I'm curious myself with Tesla, because Tesla is the number one competitor for that. But capacity, no, they're not. We've been seeing Teslas can't even be drivable in the winter. We've been seeing Tesla that can't sit down in the sun. They explode, catch on fire, or shoot, or if not, locked in your car. So I don't know how Tesla's still a number one dynamic, competitor capacity online, but much short-term upside for energy may already be fully priced into the stock. So Ford gonna make a jump in that, and I believe Ford is getting ready for the transition from Tesla to drop. Now, it's going to be a big thing for them to do, but it can be done. It can be done. So I can see Ford actually gearing up toward, I think this where like they're putting all their money into this section of their company, which is electric cars. So this is where it's actually being more profitable in the future, because this is where they're going to be stealing Tesla customers, which, don't get me wrong, Ford came a long way. So, but it came from damn near $2 a share all the way up to now. So Ford doing something big, and just a lot of people not understanding what they're doing, but they're actually competing with Tesla, which is a heck of a feat, but it can be done. Then, hey, you have to think about that in the long-term issue of that risk. But them coming up in shares, yes, I can see them hitting like a 34, 35, but not no GM, no $80. I don't think, but they're going to be hitting a 30, 45 type of share. And I would say buy in if you can, because I see them coming up pretty quickly while GM falls. So they're going to be doing some things. Let's jump into the
What is an analyst consensus? Analyst consensus refers to the average of different analysts' estimates about a stock's or security's performance, particularly regarding future earnings or financial metrics. It is an aggregated estimate that helps investors gauge market expectations and is crucial for financial communication. This consensus can also assist in identifying forecast errors made by management.
The analyst consensus about Ford, which will a lot of people say hold. Interesting. I would say too, this is a company you should invest in. I would say that is true. This is a company you should invest in. I would say hold it. The estimated price, which is true. What did I say? $20, $30. See, the low estimate was 7 to 10, because back then they were cheap, really cheap a share. If you own one share, you up like $17 right now back then. So when you bought it, it was cheap. You're perfect now. Just hold it. If you can buy another one, hold it. So I would say hold it, because they're gearing towards something big, and Ford might be back in the number one spot. Took them a long while to think of something, but I have to say they actually coming up pretty well within their report. Inventory sucks. Everything else sucks, but I see what they're gearing toward when I really look more and deep into this. They're gearing towards that electric function. So electric trucks, electric cars, electric, you're actually getting a shine back with that type of function. So not including they're competing with Tesla. So they already got customers from there coming to them just because of their functionality with their electric cars. So thinking about that, that is going to be a game changer for Ford. And don't get me wrong, they might be a competitor if they do it right and not rush it. Right now, they're doing fine. If they stick with that, they ain't got nothing to worry about. So I hope you enjoyed the video. I'm going to catch you guys on the next one.